Hi, I'm Grace Solkinson, and behind me you can see the Hen Haven, what we're calling the ultimate backyard scale chicken coop. It sits on a footprint of just 6.7 by 7.3 meters. That's 22 by 24 feet. So it's pretty compact in size, but it holds a lot of unique places for our different chickens. So let's explore it a little bit. Right here we have 4 different foraging runs. So each of these runs have all kinds of different plants for our chickens to eat. We planted comfrey in them. They also have dandelions, clover, different types of grass, and other chicken-friendly weeds that they love to eat. So they get each run for 1 week out of the month, and then it gets closed up and gets to rest for 3 weeks so that everything can grow back and be ready for them when they come through again. That also gives a chance for their droppings to be used as compost for the soil instead of building up, and for there to be less chances of any kind of diseases or sicknesses from having too much poo in their runs. On top you can see we have some burlap. We put a burlap shade cloth on top because it has been baking hot here this summer, and it's really helped the run stay a lot greener than the grass outside to have a little bit of extra shade. So that's been really nice. And the runs are 6 feet tall. They have a heavy gauge 2 by 4 inch wire, and that's on the roof as well. And then on the bottom 3 feet, they have a 1 by 1 wire mesh as well, just to keep out smaller predators. So this is a stronger wire for large predators, smaller wire for smaller predators and rodents and things like that. And it's a really secure place for all of our chickens to be. So come along, let's look inside. This is the door in. We have it opening inward, so when our chickens come running, they get gently pushed back so that we can get inside. Come on, girls, let us in. Yes, all of our happy ladies. We'll start here in their favorite area, probably, food and water. We have some nice large metal feeders and waters that hold at least a week's worth of feed for our chickens, so they always have plenty of fresh food and water. We also have our quail system. Right now we've got a trio of little Caternix quail up top, and they actually provide some enrichment for the chickens, and I think the chickens for them, they all like to look in at each other. This system can hold a lot more quail, but right now we've got our lovely little trio in there. And we're sitting in what we call the drylot. So this area has a sand floor, which is really easy to clean. We can just rake up all the poop and any other little debris that are in here, keep it really nice and fresh for the chickens. They also love to scratch around in here. They can eat the sand as grit. When it's hot, they'll make a little hole and sit in it to get the cool sand underneath. Also dust bathing. And up on top, we have a reclaimed glass roof. So we were able to find this beautiful glass and put this area that even when it's snowing or raining, the chickens are able to come outside and have a little bit of area to be out in the outdoors and not just have to stay inside their coop. So they really love that. And then over here we have our different runs. So these are the foraging runs that our chickens can access a week at a time. When it's their week to access, we open the chicken door and they have free access of the grass for a week. And then when the week is over, we close it back up and they are able to let it rest for a while. So there's also the human-sized doors on each of these coops, so that way if there's something that we need to access in there, we're able to get in. We have a bunch of different types of chickens. This one is Gloriana. She is a buff Cochin. We have primarily heritage breed hens, and all these hens are going to lay different colors of eggs. They all have different personalities, so it's really fun to get to know all the different chickens that we have. And we have our little enrichment zone here. So we have different varying height structures that our chickens can access. We have this old set of steps. It was once an old tree house. It was scavenged and repurposed into a little chicken platform. They love to go up there and view the garden and the area around them from different heights. We've got this boulder, which was under one of our fence posts, and we thought that'd be a great place for them to sun themselves. They like to climb up on there. And then we have the coop itself. So the coop is timber framed, and we treated the wood for it with what's called shosujiban, which is an ancient Japanese wood preservation technique that involves us charring the wood and then scraping the top level of char off and treating it with linseed oil. And that makes wood last a really, really long time. There's temples in Japan that have over 1,000-year-old wood that was treated with shosujiban. So we're not expecting this to last 1,000 years, but we're hoping to last a really long time. And then we have our natural building techniques. Up top here, we have light straw clay, which is where straw is mixed with a clay slip. It's also called straw slip sometimes, and then packed into a mold, a form in the wall cavity itself. And this will be treated with a natural plaster once it's completely dry. And then we have hemp-cob and cord wood. So it's a hemp-cob is cob made with hemp instead of with straw. So it's a little finer texture for making the small areas around the cord wood. And this worked out really well for the base of our walls. It went in super quick. So these were two techniques we really enjoyed building. We'll see a few more of the different techniques inside the coop. This area of the wall right here is traditional cob. So it's cob that's done with straw. And we did some decorative glass inserts. We have some bottles, we have some upcycled shower tiles, and then this was a plate that I found at a thrift shop. We found two matching ones, and so we made a window out of it, and it turned out really decorative and pretty. We also inset our laying boxes, which can be accessed by a little flap on the outside. So when our chickens are laying their eggs, it'll be easy for us to collect them. On both sides of the coop, we have windows for a cross breeze. When it's warm, we open both sides, and the cool air flowing down the slope comes through the coop to keep it nice and cool. And we also have these scavenged dripped wood perches. We have one on each side with some upcycled tiles and little poop shelves to make it really easy to clean up the droppings from when the chickens are sleeping, because they do poop a lot when they're sleeping. And it keeps the floor a lot cleaner, because in the hot part of the day, the chickens like to retreat in here and kind of burrow down in the cool sand and really feel comfy and cozy. So we like to keep the floor as clean as possible. We also, if you come inside and take a peek up, we have some solar systems being installed, which we're really excited about. So that's going to control our vent fan, some heating for our roosts when it gets cold, also a solar chicken door, and just make the coop a little bit more comfortable in here. So we're really excited about that. And we've time traveled forward in time to autumn, where a lot of changes have happened in the coop. So why don't we come and take a look? Here we have the back wall of the coop, and as you can see, it looks a lot different. We have done several things. We did a base coat of lime plaster, a heavier lime plaster with hemp, sand, lime, water, and a little bit of clay to help it be a nice and smooth consistency. And then we did a top coat, a little bit of a finer toothed plaster, which had horse manure, lime, sand, water, and then on top of that did a homemade lime paint that has lime, water, and natural pigments to make these beautiful decorative elements. And what this does is it makes a protective layer for the natural building materials underneath. It'll make it a lot more watertight and a lot cozier and longer lasting. So now we're ready for winter here at the Hen Haven Chicken Coop. Thanks for watching.